Hi, everybody. It's me again. Um, I told y'all that I would record whenever, I don't know, maybe something meaningful happens that I wanted to document, or maybe just things that are happen in my life, or things I see or felt or in my past come up. I wanted to share those things, and sometimes those things are going to be really hard, and today will be one of those ones. So I ask you to bear with me because I really want to explain where I'm coming from. And I want people to know the reasons that people do some of the things they do, or I'm going to say that a lot in my videos because I believe that it is empowering to look at the reason for why this person or whatever might do what they do. And yesterday I had something happen that reminded me of a few things, and those are the things I wanted to talk about today. And those are going to be it's going to be one of those really hard times. So I'm going to try to skip through it, and since we got a storm going down in Texas again, I figured I would get it over with and move forward. So when you are a young woman growing up, and you are not loved or cared about, it really does emphasize a life-changing moment for you as a woman. I never knew how much it was going to impact my life, is the way I felt about myself because of my parents raising me like trash. Okay, I can't use the word dog. It's very insulting to use it as a dog, as Lord knows dogs deserve better than what I got on my best day growing up. So it really, as I was growing up as even an adult, as I got away from it, I didn't even understand, and I couldn't relate, and I couldn't speak to my friends about just how bad I was lost, and how much they would say things to me. And like, my friends would always say to me, "You're so pretty. Why do you date jerk-offs? Why do you date guys that are crappy, that hit you?" And I would go, "Well, they say they love me, and they care about me, and I love them." And they would go, "Cherie, you date the crappiest people ever." And I couldn't understand why I just couldn't understand it. And so as time went by, I began to realize I wasn't able to differentiate between a good person, as in dating, and maybe a bad person. So I took time off to separate myself in this part of like really not taking anything serious with the relationship, or putting up new boundaries and new rules that I had never done. And I had a private family member help me through it, and I have to keep their personal privacy because they've asked me to, but they really influenced me, as in I trusted them to tell me the truth as to whether I was a valuable person in this matter. And they would even tell you, I'm very blunt. I tell them, like, this is what I did, and this is what I said, or I didn't care about making myself like look good in the situation. I just wanted to know why things were repeating themselves with the same type of relationship, just over and over. And certain things were very consistent, and I knew that growing up, I didn't think my dad loved me. Like, I don't even really recall anything good that happened with me and my dad. Like, I don't, just besides like that one incident where he had said something to me, but it was not to me, it was about me in church, just of everybody, about how smart I was with Greek. He had made a comment about that, and it wasn't even actually a compliment where I'm at looking back. But I don't remember, I don't think I can recall of anything that was great, like that I could say, oh my God, my dad loved me because he showed me how to not let a man hit you. I can't say that my dad held my hand ever in life and told me that I was, beautiful, I was worthy, I was valuable human, that I was smart. I don't ever recall that. And it impacted my life greatly. Because how do you know how to let a human treat you a certain way if you've never had your father or your mother, treat you good? I mean, not even good. They didn't even treat me anything. When your parents try to kill you, there's nothing you can find in that. That's love. So for me as an adult, I could never find a man to look up to. Any man that would be old enough to be a role model to me as a dad was always, they would either hit on me or they would try to sleep with me, and they would swindle money out of me. I never even had a clue that I had any value. And when you see women today that, get beat on, or you can wonder, man, why do they let a guy treat them so low? That's all we know. So what happened was, at about 37 years old, which has not been that very long ago, just so you know. Unfortunately, I'm getting old. I had somebody impact my life greatly. And it was definitely, of course, a man. And he taught me my value. And what he didn't realize was, in the middle of teaching me my value, I began to realize that I deserved even better, to the point of, like, it's not okay to be hit on. It's not okay to emotionally abuse a woman. It's not okay to make her feel like she wants to die. And what I want people to understand is that when you're working with somebody as in progress, and your friend, or maybe it's a sister, or maybe it's your mother, that is in a continuous situation where she cannot seem to find her value, you have to remember where it came from. And mine was my parents. And we as parents are responsible for our children and how they turn out, and how they feel about themselves, or where they've gone in life. And it's not hard either to raise your kids where they don't get molested or they don't get sold, or they don't get abused, and their body skin isn't ripped off in chunks, and they're not thrown into outhouse holes, and they're just little girls. They're trying to dig their way out. And you cannot get out. Because every man that you've ever known that was supposed to pull you out that day never pulled you out. And I guess I want people to know that yesterday, one of those people contacted me, and they offered me a deal. And I keep looking at the message, because I keep going, wow, that's my value. That was my value. And now, thanks to a lot of you, meaning my family, and people that were in my life, you've helped change my life, where now I know my value in a lot better way. And it's a slow progress, and it's an uphill climb. But when I got that message yesterday, I remembered who I was and who I really deserved to be. And at the time, honestly, I was just like, are you freaking kidding me? Is this what you think I'm worth? And then I just remembered he always thought that was my worth, because when he looked over my shoulder, he never saw men like my dad or my mom or people that are in my parents' church or were in my parents' church, or just anybody that had anything that was in my realm of the world. That should have been the men that stood up for me, that stood behind me, and that showed me how to be treated, because I was the only girl. They didn't do it. They failed me. And so what I had to turn around and do was try to figure it out myself. And thanks to this, just like in the last 3 years, I've gotten to visit a lot of places and seen and gone back and viewed some things. And when I went back, and even the last couple months, I realized my value to my family. And I was never worth anything to them. And all along, when, for example, the day I was in the outhouse hole and my parents threw me in there as a little girl, I thought I was going to drown. I was begging for a stick. And if you don't know anything about being a little girl and being forced into an outhouse hole full of human feces and maggots as a child, that was me. That's what my parents, the lovely Bishop Ron McCray, the man that went up and tried to accuse President Obama of not being a citizen or going after gay people and calling them horrific names and terrorizing the United States and children and changing and impacting people's lives. That man, they did that to me. They had my brothers sit around that hole that day, and they were little. Can you imagine what they thought? Can you imagine how horrible to see your sister in a freaking outhouse hole? And you're what, like 2 years old? And I remember I was begging my mom and my dad. And I couldn't have been more than like, I don't know, 10 to 11 years old. Like, I was little. I don't know. Like, I was really young. And there's nobody who's going to save you. You think Somerset DA is going to save me? Do you think the senator or Congress or anybody out of Pennsylvania is going to save me? God's sakes, they know, and they didn't even do anything about it. I begged those people to do something. Do you think they gave me 1 ounce of justice? Can you imagine how I feel, my value? Do you imagine trying to climb from that? And I know you might laugh and you may not understand it, but I was just a child. And horrific people did horrific things on that mountain up there in Ossipple, Pennsylvania. And so many people saw what happened. They know. They talk about it. And through all of that, I'm here today at 40 years old telling you that you can actually survive. And when you have nobody that wants to even, nobody has guts, nobody, you don't see anybody standing here today with me having the guts to do anything about it. Nobody. Not one. If it's not my family I made in Texas, there's no support from my blood family whatsoever. 0. What was wrong with me
Tell me, please. Why didn't I ask my mom one time? I've got it on recording. I asked my mom, like, why didn't you just put me... You could have dumped me at a police station. You could dump me in the trash. You could have set me on the porch somewhere. Let me somewhere. I would have had a better chance. So, when you look at somebody and before you start judging who they are, I want you to remember me. Remember Cherie McCray, that was that little girl on that mountain that dug herself out of that pile of human feces. And I'm here today. I don't allow myself to date crappy people that hit me anymore. Yes, I'm single all the time, but that's okay. It's okay. It really is. That's not my problem anymore. Because I know my value. And I know that if it hurts, it's not okay. So remember today, remember child abuse. And call your senators and call your Congress and call people. Just reach out to anybody and please share this video and let people know that you can really live through anything. You just have to dig deep. And trust me, there is a God that is so much bigger than even my pain today. There's like this God that's the whole time when I was up there dying, starving, begging for help, all these years an adult, begging the freaking police department, the DA. Well, it's not really the police department, there's, well, it's them too, but mostly the DA, because the DA is the one that makes the decision to prosecute people. And when the DA, they don't do anything, but they even, they hang out with your family. You don't have a chance in hell. You don't have a chance in hell. So I'm putting it out here today because I want you people to please remember me. Remember what I went through, and I hope it encourages you to know that if I'm here and I haven't shot myself, or I drowned myself, or whatever, because trust me, we'll talk about that later, about suicide, because that's come up in my life more than once. And I got help. And we'll talk about that later. My first suicide attempt wasn't even as an adult. It was me as a child. I'm trying to escape that place up there, because I knew I couldn't live all those years waiting to escape, because I couldn't get away. When you're locked in a closet, it's kind of hard to get away. You know what I mean? So remember your value. And I know I'm not probably the best today as I'm bawling and crying, and I probably sound like a bag of crap of emotions, but I just want people to realize that if I'm here today and I can make it through today as a happy person, at least like freaking 80% of the time, I'm happy, smiling. It's just when days and things happen in your life that remind you of your past. That happens every day. My childhood comes up in my life every day. There's not one painful moment that does not show its face to me every day. So when you live like that, it's hard to not ever remember those moments. And so now, that's why I'm recording them, so I can get them done, and I'm going to put them out there, and I want to put them to rest in a better way, and giving myself the voice that the district attorney, that the state of Pennsylvania, the state of Virginia, the state of New Jersey, all these states that have helped, Missouri, helped debate and all this mess. I don't care anymore. I asked you all to do right by me. Just do right by me for the first beginning of my years before I even had a choice. So that's starting to know your value, because this is what started my value, is things like this. When I realize that when you're thrown in an outhouse hole as a child, and they just sift in it as they laugh and preach at you and
tell you you're going to hell, and you're a little girl, just a little girl, naked, half naked there with the slip on, and you know your body skin's beat off of you, and you got a toilet for a Maxwell house because your mom, my mom gave me her coffee cans for my toilet. So it was like it's hard to know your value when you're coming from all that, right? And then when you do the right thing and grow up and get back to society, and you ask society, as in you're the people that had that job of prosecute evil people like that to do their job, and they even shit on you, it's kind of hard to know your value even then. It makes it even worse. And then people stand around and know about it, and they're preachers and have all this involvement in my story that can't even, well, they won't even call you or text you, but they say they love you and they care about you and they're there for you, but they know nothing of you. They just use you till they can get what they want. That's when I ended it. About a month ago. I just finally gave up. So now I'm going to continue to, one more time, work on my value and post this and let people see that you can live through it all. Even when the whole world lets you down, you can live through it because there's God and there's friends that are there for you. Hopefully you have friends that'll be there for you through it all. And I've been lucky. I've had a few friends stick with me. So, and my children, I am blessed beyond belief. And that girl that was thrown in that shithole that day was whiting all those maggots and drowning in feces, and well, she raised 2 amazing kids, and she's not dead yet, so I must have done a heck of a job getting myself at least some kind of love and confidence in myself. So here's to telling the truth. Bye.